Every great fighter has one thing in common: the perfect position. If your stance or your guard are off, even by inches, you're wasting power, you're losing balance, and you leave yourself wide open. Guys, welcome to the channel. Today, we're going to show you a simple 10-minute drill that you can do anywhere to build the perfect position so everything lands cleaner and your defense holds up even under pressure. I'm Alan Branch from Glove Up. My man David Dice is in the house with Brooklyn. How's it going, guys? I'm doing good. So I'm ready to rock and roll on this. And in the last video, we went over some of the things of the fundamentals that we got to keep sharp if we're going to build some real skills. And I promised the viewers a drill that we could do. And what we want to do today is get the guard just right, get the feet just right, and then show them how to apply that and be able to step right into it.
Brooklyn, your feet are hips width apart for this start. So it's like you're on train tracks. That piece of tape would be between your feet, equidistant, so the same gap on each side. Hands at your side, okay? So now we can easily go foot to foot. We're very balanced versus what most people do is they end up trying to fight on a tightrope. We want to be on train tracks. All right, so now what you're going to do is you're going to drop your right foot back as wide as your shoulders are, or shoulders width. So you'll drop it back, all right, and then you would turn your front toe towards the line and be on this rear foot, on the ball of that foot, like you would in any sport. So you can push forward. So you're on the ball of that back foot. So get in your stance. Good. All right, back up a little bit so he doesn't lose the feet. All right, now you're going to make two fists. You're going to put your elbows into your body. So those are 2 points of the 3-point stance. Now you're going to bend your right fist up and put it right here on your cheek or your jaw. And your front hand is going to be pulled up. So it's out in front of that shoulder, but you have a distinct front hand and a distinct back hand. So that is your 3-point stance, Alan. Your feet are hips width apart laterally. You've dropped your foot back at least as wide as your shoulders or a little wider. Front foot is turned in. Rear foot is turned in a little bit so you can take off fast, pushing forward. We start the elbows here. So you've got 2 of the 3 points. There's the 3rd point. And the front hand bends up. You're looking between your hands, not around them. Your chin is down. That's where we start. Everything we do from now to black belt is out of that stance, whether it be boxing, kickboxing, Krav, self-defense, what have you. We live out of that 3-point stance.
You know, and without that, I just don't really, if you don't understand that basic, I just don't think you have the foundation to build much of anything.
If this were really his first class, here's what we would do to just practice the basics of that stance. I'd have him study it, of course, in our curriculum, in the whole, you know, if he's a student from Europe or from Richmond, right? He's got all this written out with videos and, you know, as you know. So I will say, all right, now get out of that stance, Brooklyn, mess it up. Now get back in it. And I'm going to study it. I'm going to make sure front foot turned in, rear foot turned in. If he's looking in the mirror, which he should see daylight between his legs. Now, a lot of people will go like this. Okay, I see daylight. Well, you'll always see daylight like that. I'm talking about in the mirror. There should be a little bit of daylight, and you will see what the mirror is seeing, Alan. All right, so that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that elbow in, that fist on that jaw, this front hand out, and his chin down. Now, he's very difficult to hit, right? I have to, in order to land something, I've got to move my feet. I've got to change my angle, which is the objective in a good stance. The last thing you want to do is do your opponent's job for them, okay, by being in a bad stance and giving them an opening when they're right in front of you, right? So I'll have him get out of that stance, okay, and I'll hop back in it. And that's the first thing that they have to practice. I don't teach him anything else until next session. And I'm going to say, I want that perfect. All right, so let's see, he's coming back for his next session. There's always a day in between because you have to practice. You learn it here, right? Then your body learns it by doing it. That's the only way your body can learn something. It's got to do it. All right, so now he's here. So I say, all right, get in the stance. All right, mess it up. Get in it. And he has to hit that thing a bunch of times in a row. And I go, okay, now his body knows how to do it. So, and then I'll share with them from now through black belt, the rest of your fight career, this is how you have to stand. Everything we teach you and them is out of the stance. And when I say everything, I mean everything. And so naturally, if it's that important, you have to practice it. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. What if I'm somebody watching and I think that I need to be in a Thai style stance? Like I need that front toe pointing forward.
That's a great question. And I'm going to give you 4 answers. Each answer is a reason not to be in that foot pointed straight ahead. Okay. Number 1, you guys tell me what happens when I point that foot straight ahead. The first thing it does is it squares my shoulders up, okay? I'm gonna give you a bunch of reasons. So now, when you didn't have a straight target, now you do. So you can hit me without you having to do anything different, right down the line. So it opens you up. Number 2, when I open that foot up, notice my right shoulder travels forward, my left shoulder travels back. So I have moved my jab, the most important weapon, farther away, and I've moved my power closer to you. So I've blown half the wad on that power already, and I've taken my best weapon farther away from you simply by pointing that toe. Here's a bunch of other reasons. When I throw a hard right hand, which is pivot, weight shift, torque, pow, right? If that foot is pointed straight ahead and I miss, there's nothing to catch me from falling off balance. When I turn that toe in, I have stored energy. So when I throw that right hand, if you can notice, my foot, okay, we call it biting the floor. It's on that 45-degree angle. So if I miss, I don't fall off balance. And it also will help throw me right back on to that hook. Because any good boxing coach in the world knows a rule of thumb is when you throw a right hand, you have to follow it up with the front hand. And it'll be a power shot, plus it'll bring you on balance. So you have stored energy. Here's another reason. We agree that power comes from torque and weight shift. You know, if somebody disagrees with that, they need to get into badminton or crocheting and get out of the fight game, okay? So here's the deal. If we agree on pivoting is important, when this foot is turned in, that's as far as I have to go. Pow, right? If that foot is pointed straight, in order to get my pocket or my hips and shoulders through, it's too far to travel. There's another reason why to turn it in. Here's another great reason. If I want to move forward with a double jab, it requires 4 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. Jabbing when that front foot hits the floor. How in the world can I go forward fast with that foot pointing straight ahead? I can't do my toes. So it'll be a heel-toe movement. Well, if we're training a guy and you see somebody doing heel-toe movement, we tell our guys, listen, fire when he starts to put that heel down, because he can't do anything to you until that toe hits, right? So it causes heel-toe movement versus toe-to-toe movement. So if that's not enough reasons to get people to turn that foot in, I don't know what's going to do it.
Well, for the viewers that are watching, because I know the next question from all of our martial arts guys is, well, what about the leg kick? Your leg's open to be kicked.
Here's a quick
Go ahead
answer.
and deal with that so we can just answer the question now.
Yeah, I'll always answer. Well, how do you block them normally? And they'll go, well, pick it up, turn it. Okay, so do I. Right? It's the same speed. It's the same block. So that's a crazy answer. That's a crazy excuse, because they want to defend something that's inferior. Okay. Now, Muay Thai. It didn't say Muay Thai is, we love it, okay? We think it's great, but again, it's a sport with a set of rules, okay? It's not boxing, and that's why it doesn't really transfer over perfectly, or even, you know, 3/4 of the way to MMA, right? Because you open yourself up, you lose power. They're not known for their punches. They're actually known for having poor punching power, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
The reasons I explained. They're squared up. This is farther away. This is your power. Bam! They've already fired it halfway with nothing. So there you go. Bop! You pick it up like that. Footwork is faster too. So if you want to pull out, it's way quicker to push off with your toe moving backwards than it is your heel moving backwards. But again, it's not fair because we're mixing in footwork and moving around and making people miss, which isn't a part of the repertoire for Muay Thai, right?
Well, it also puts you in the position to throw that blistering lead jab, which cancels out, you know, some of this stuff.
Yeah, it starts right here, okay? You know, what I wouldn't have you do if you want to be a good striker, I wouldn't have you stand like you were diving, right? We start you in the right position, and everything starts from right here. Until you get this down, you have no business hitting anything.
All right, guys, in the next video, we're going to look at the mistakes that kill your punching power and how to fix them. So don't miss that. The link will be in the description. You can just go right to the next video. And before you go, make sure you grab our free striking technique cheat sheet. It breaks down all of the fundamentals step by step, and you've got kind of a checklist so you can keep drilling smarter, and the link is down below. And as always, if you're ready to level up, take this even deeper, join us inside Fighters College. It is a complete striking blueprint and education in striking. We look forward to seeing you in the next video. Hey guys, I'm Alan Branch.
I'm David Dyes.
We appreciate you watching the video. Hey, be sure that you like the video, subscribe to our channel for ongoing content, and if you want to go next level, be sure to visit us at fighterscollege.com.
And always remember, keep those elbows in, that chin down, and hands up.
And remember to thank God every day that you have the strength to go one more round. See you next time.